Hey everybody, Matt Williamson from Pop Goes the 60s back here with some results from my latest survey. And this survey had to do with songs that you chose from the Beatles solo careers that you wish the Beatles would have recorded. And this was a fun little project. I'm sure many of us play this Beatle parlor game. And I thought it'd be interesting to see what the viewers of this channel think. And so what I'm going to do here is give you the top winners. And as you might expect, now just to give you a little background for those of you if you didn't partake in this. And by the way, I've tabulated over 600 different responses. So it took me a while to get all that stuff logged in, but it was a lot of fun. So what I did was I did put a parameter on this, and I had Beatles solo stuff up through the end of the 1970s. But then there was a fifth wildcard choice, and you could choose anything you like. Any kind of cover song, anything at all. So it would have been one song from John, Paul, George, and Ringo each, and then a wild card. So let's just start with the top vote getter. Now, I think many of you could probably guess this if everybody's choosing one from each Beatle. This was a Ringo song, It Don't Come Easy. And this came in at 287 votes for that song to be recorded by the Beatles instead of their solo career. Now, obviously Ringo doesn't have as many songs to choose from as the other three, so it might artificially put one of the more popular songs up high, which it did. So that's 287 votes, so that's still pretty sizable. Number two was a George song, All Things Must Pass. That came out at 148, so it's significantly less than Ringo's, about half, well, almost half. And that was at 148. And I was a little surprised that that one got picked over some of George's other songs. All Things Must Pass, I think maybe got a little more attention from the Peter Jackson Get Back thing. I did several videos, a two-part video on the song All Things Must Pass, how it was not rejected by the Beatles. So maybe that, with my viewers, has a little bit more visibility. Number three, Paul McCartney, Maybe I'm Amazed. This is right behind All Things Must Pass at 142 votes. Number four, we have another Ringo song. This is Photograph, which we all know is co-written by George Harrison, half the Beatles anyway. That was at 94. Number five, we have the first John Lennon entry with Imagine at 88. Now, I figured Imagine would be up there for Lennon. As we see, a lot of the Lennon songs are more close than spread apart. There's quite a lot of Lennon songs that are right in that kind of middle range. Like the next song, Instant Karma, which comes in at number 68 votes. That's the sixth highest. Number seven, What Is Life? George Harrison. Actually, I got those switched around. What Is Life is at 70 votes. I didn't update my document here. Number eight, Number 9, Dream by John Lennon at 57. Number 9, Band on the Run, Paul McCartney. Number 10, Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey by Paul McCartney. That's at 48 votes. Then at number 11, we have Jealous Guy, John Lennon. Number 12, Give Me Some Truth at 42. And number 13, we've got Blow Away by George Harrison, one of my favorites. I was not sure people would pick that one as high as they did, but they did. I think because it sounds so Beatle-y. And then number 14, Backseat of My Car by Paul McCartney. So I stopped at 14 because that would constitute an album, roughly speaking. And so what that gives us is, of those 14, we got 5 songs by John, 4 by Paul, 3 by George, and 2 by Ringo. So fairly evenly distributed between them, pretty much what we'd think. So I'm just going to run down the next, we're going to go up, I'm going to give you the top 30 here, just to kind of round it out so you see where some of the other songs came in, because it is kind of interesting. We have Mind Games by John Lennon at 34. Back Off Boogaloo, Ringo, 31. Cold Turkey, John Lennon at number 30. 30 votes, that is. And then we've got a tie here between two George songs, My Sweet Lord and Isn't It a Pity, both with 27 votes. The 20th spot, we've got Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth, 25 votes for another George song. And we move over to Paul McCartney with Let Me Roll It, 25 votes. And he followed up with Another Day, 24 votes. Beware of Darkness by George Harrison at 23 votes. Now that's a favorite of mine. I was a little surprised to see that one so high. I'm the Greatest by Ringo at 22 and Jet, Paul McCartney at 18. So the last five I'm going to talk about here. Number 26, Every Night by Paul McCartney at 17 votes. Crackerbox Palace, George at 16 votes. Junior's Farm, 15 votes. Whatever Gets You Through the Night, 14 votes. And the 30th highest voted song was Isolation with 13 votes. So you can see it's pretty eclectic listing, I think. A mix of some of the hits, some of the songs that you might suspect, with some others that are not so expected, I think, with songs like Beware of Darkness or Isolation. Two of those, I think, were a little bit more obscure. Now, some of the songs that, there's tons of votes and lots of songs that were less than 10 votes each. We're going to go through some songs here in a minute by each artist. We're going to show you the list. The song Oh Yoko actually got 2 votes for John, as did Luck of the Irish, that got 1 vote. Paul, what was interesting about Paul McCartney, he had, with so many hits in the 70s, he had 6 songs here that averaged 5 votes each. And these were biggies. This was My Love, Live and Let Die, Silly Love Songs, With a Little Luck, and Mull of Kintyre. So none of those broke into the top 30. We even had a couple songs. We had the Red Rose Speedway medley chosen, the Diabolical Red Rose Speedway medley. Mamounia, the Frog Song, each with 1. George Harrison, we had the shockingly bad Ding Dong voted 1 time. Got My Mind Set on You was a wild card. And he had some other interesting songs in here like Apple Scruffs, Faster, Don't Let Me Wait Too Long, See Yourself, So Sad. Not bad. So Ringo, he had You and Me, Babe. That was one that came up 5 times. And Blind Man even was chosen 3 times. And John Heaton's favorite, Sunshine Life for Me, with 4 votes. John, one of those must be from you. Thank you for playing. And the No-No song with 7 votes, surprisingly. I've always hated that song. Now, let me just jump over to some of the wild cards because this is a little interesting. Then we're going to show you, I'll just show you kind of a breakdown of each individual artist, the top 20 from each. So one of the things that I noticed with regard to these wild card selections is there were a lot of selections of what I would call Beatles sound-alike groups that came out in the 70s. Bands whose sound was based very much on the Beatles, like the Electric Light Orchestra. There were 4 votes for ELO. This is 1 vote each. Evil Woman, Mr. Blue Sky, Telephone Line, Don't Bring Me Down. Similarly, we've got a couple votes for 10cc, The Things We Do for Love, and I'm Not in Love. The Raspberries also get 1 vote with Go All the Way. But the most popular was the group Badfinger, who got 16 total votes. 4 each for Come and Get It and Baby Blue, 3 for No Matter What, 2 for Day After Day, and these next 3, would be diehard Badfinger fans who know these songs, would be We're for the Dark, Maybe Tomorrow, and Without You. So that was kind of interesting. I found that slightly disturbing to imitate an imitator. I mean, I don't know. But I did say it was a wild card, so that's what you guys came up with. We also got 4 votes for David Bowie's Fame. It was co-written by John Lennon. 3 votes for A World Without Love. 3 votes for Badge by Cream. Those were all Beatle or co-write songs. And we had 3 votes for Free as a Bird. I guess that would have been when John Lennon was actually living. And we had 1 vote for Real Love without Jeff Lynne producing. So I thought that was worth mentioning. A couple other songs. God Only Knows came up twice, as did I Shall Be Released by Dylan. And we had some other interesting offerings here. Sowing the Seeds of Love, Nights in White Satin, Wild Horses, Fat Bottom Girls, Wooden Ships, Will You Still Love Me? Somebody suggested the song I Can Help by Billy Swan. Remember that one, #1 song? They suggested Ringo sing that one. I could get into that. And Burning Love by Elvis was also in here. And songs like Layla, Ring of Fire. And one of my favorite suggestions, 21st Century Schizoid Man. So that one, that would be interesting to hear the Beatles do that one. You think Ringo would sing that one? I don't know. All right, so as we continue, I just want to show you just kind of a glimpse of the top vote getters from each Beatle, because it's kind of interesting to see them just grouped together. I'm getting a little sip here. So we have John Lennon's top 20. We went through quite a few of these already, starting with Imagine. Instant Karma, number 9, Dream. And then as we get into the 7th and 8th spot, Cold Turkey, Whatever Gets You Through the Night. Isolation. Oh My Love at number 10, Give Peace a Chance. How Do You Sleep? Crippled Inside, Love, and Woman. And the last 5, Out the Blue, Well, 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 I Found Out, Starting Over, and in the 20th spot, Working Class Hero. All right, let's look at Mr. McCartney's entries here. His top 20. As I said, we had maybe I'm Amazed at the 3rd largest voted. Rounding up the top 5, Band of the Run, Uncle Albert, Backseat of My Car, Another Day. Let Me Roll at number 6. That was his 6th most requested song. I think that was a pretty cool request. Great song. Every Night, a favorite of mine, that's number 7. Jet, number 8. Junior's Farm, 9. Too Many People, number 10. 1985. Junk, Getting Closer, My Love, and Live and Let Die are the next set of 5. And then finally, we've got High, 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 Monkberry Moon Delight, Silly Love Songs, Venus and Mars Rock Show, and the last one, Eat at Home, which I think is a really good tune. Probably my favorite, one of my favorite songs off that Ram album. Moving over to George. So we've got All Things Must Pass, the 2nd place song overall. Blow Away was in that top 5, as was My Sweet Lord. I'm actually surprised What Is Life was his 2nd most requested song. I would have thought another one might have jumped up there, but that would have made a great Beatles song for sure. The next 5, Give Me Love, Beware of Darkness, Wah Wah, Art of Dying. Next 5, Don't Let Me Wait Too Long, very Beatley song. Apple Scruffs, also pretty Beatley. I'd Have You Anytime, co-written with Bob Dylan, which is a great song. Number 14, Dark Horse. 15, Run of the Mill. And then we have a Dylan cover here, If Not For You. And we finish up the list with Sue Me Sue You Blues, Beautiful Girl, Love Comes to Everyone, and Faster. So a couple songs from that 1979 album. And good old Ringo. We're going to finish up with him. His top 5 is a formidable top 5 with the Don't Come Easy, Photograph, Back Off Boogaloo, I'm the Greatest, and Goodnight Vienna. The next 5, early 1970, although I'm sure if the Beatles had recorded that, the lyrics might have been a little different. 6 O'Clock, Oh My My, You and Me Babe, which I think is a great song. And the No No song at number 10. Number 11, we have Sunshine Light for Me, followed by Year 16, Blind Man, Down and Out, and Snookeroo. And the last batch, we've got Pure Gold, Bukus of Blues, Cooking in the Kitchen of Love, and Coochie Coochie. So a pretty good list. That's a pretty good best of Ringo album right there, if you ask me. Stick those songs on a CD. It's probably all you need, right? And there you have it. I think this top 14 might constitute an album that ever was at some point. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Not a bad thought. But over 600 of you partook in this exercise. So thank you so much for filling out all the surveys and leaving comments in the comments section. It was really a lot of fun to do. And you guys all got A's on your homework. So very good, very well done. Even though some of you included songs like the Frog Song and what else? We got Ding Dong and the No No song. I'm still giving you an A. So that's how fair I can be. But anyway, thank you for taking part in this. As always, I'm working on several videos at the moment, so you're going to see some new band stuff soon. And I look forward to seeing you back here watching Pop Goes the 60s.